All right, we'll be actually live now.
Cool.
Did you just get back from work?
I did, yeah. Just got home.
Oh, what did you do for a living?
I do corporate sales for a transportation company.
Oh, okay, okay. How's the weather there?
Cold. It's actually for this time of year, it's very mild. We're about 4
Is it really?
degrees Celsius, so it's in Fahrenheit. That's like low 40s probably.
Okay, so it's not that bad.
It's not that
It
bad.
was
Cold coming up.
yeah.
How's
Well,
it?
it was like snowing in Toronto, right? Like December or something like that, right?
Oh
Or
yeah,
no?
yeah, for sure, yeah. We've
Yeah.
had snow come and go already. It's we got I don't know we've had a couple good snowstorms already for sure.
Right, right. So you missed last show, the one that we had at Anaheim.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Anaheim, Pomona, yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
I meant to come, but it was just like so close to the new year with holidays and all the, just
yeah.
couldn't make
Yeah, I don't really understand why they always have the expo like right after New Year's. I've been keep saying it like at least give
Right.
another week or so, because everybody's still like out of town. That's like for sure. So
Yeah, like if it were, let's say like this coming weekend, I'd probably be there. But just
exactly. Yep.
right after New Year's, I try to make it probably next year, and then
Okay.
next show that I'll be going to Arlington in February. I'll go to
Mm.
that.
Oh, you're going there? Okay.
Yep, you going
Um, Probably the one in the fall.
in the fall? Yeah.
Yeah, so not the one on March, right? Because
It's
nothing really going on there. Like at the beginning of the years, usually it's like nothing new, no new combos or things like that. Because most of the babies, like this coming project for like next year, they're usually gonna have all the offspring by the fall, which is great.
Sure. Although
You know?
I find like with shows for me,
Yeah,
I go just to hang out with all the people that are like minded.
yeah,
Chat about
that's
the
true.
project, what's coming up this season. Being able to go out for dinner and grab a drink with people and just sit down and
Yeah,
just chat, and talk about what's coming
yeah,
up.
that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, just like like last expo, which is like last weekend, I went there just to say hi, like Happy New
Yeah,
Year or things like that,
yeah,
because animal wise, nothing really new there. So, I mean, but it's always good to see like friends because like some of them I only see them like once a year or like maybe like once every 2 years now. So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
always good. You know what I mean?
It's
Yeah,
it's becoming much more of a global thing, right? We've got friends like you're in California. I'm in Toronto.
yeah.
Without the snakes, the chances of us meeting would be pretty low.
It's
And
weird, huh?
that's how
Everything,
I've met so many good friends, and chat with
right?
them on a regular basis. And
Yeah.
next, I'm gonna make it to Ham this year. I'm gonna do the Germany
You
trip.
know that, yeah, I always wanted to go to. So you're going like this coming ham or like the third one, which is
No,
like
not
by
this
the
coming.
fall
I'll probably go in the summer when it's like nice.
or somewhere, right? They have like
Yeah,
four shows there, right? Like four times of hams, right? They have it like every quarters, if
yeah,
I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah,
yeah. They do it quarterly.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, you're going there by
So
yourself or you're gonna have, huh?
I'd love to find a group of guys that want to go. Just like if any, I think it's an
Mm,
open invite. Just whoever wants to go to Ham, let's all meet up and we'll all fly in from different places and we'll all meet up and have a good time.
yeah. So you're leaving like summer for sure, like for sure, or still thinking about it?
I'm thinking about summer now. I haven't made any like steady like for sure plans, but
Mm-hmm.
it's something I'm definitely interested in doing.
Yeah. So summer is like what, like April or something like that, right? May, right?
for
No?
for me, summer's like July, August, April. We still have snow
Never
sometimes.
mind. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. July. Let me see. I might gonna go to because I never been there. You know that, right? I mean, I have like few friends there, but I never like literally go there. I mean, I've been to like Europe, but I've never like go to show for for that ham particular one.
Right. I've never been to Ham either. I got talked to
Mm.
lots of European guys, and you know,
Yeah.
I'd love to go see Marcelo, exclusive snakes. I chat with him quite a bit, and I'd love to go
Mm-hmm.
see his collection. It's he's mentioned anytime I come to Ham, give him a call. So I'm gonna call him.
Right. Right. Yeah. So what's new with you, project wise?
Oh, puzzles, desert ghosts.
Okay. Anything in particular?
No, not really. I mean, it's the end of the season, so it's I'm still hatching. I got a couple clutches to hatch out still, but I'm
Okay.
just getting back into the breeding cycle now. So we've had some pretty
Mm-hmm.
good locks, and just every week. So we ultrasound once a month. I'll ultrasound all the girls once a month, and we'll
Yeah, me
see
too.
where their follicle development is, and then breed accordingly.
Okay, so you breed all year long then, right?
Basically, yeah. It
Yeah, I'm
used to
same
be
here.
a small season, but then as the collections got bigger and bigger, it's become all year long. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
say that in like the late summer, so like August, September, going into fall, the
Mm-hmm.
so in fall of 2020,
Mm-hmm.
I'll still be pairing girls that are building, but they may not lay until 2021. And so some people are like, "Oh, is that a 2021 clutch?" It's like, no, like I just had a clutch 2 weeks ago, and people are like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, do you have eggs already?" It's like, no, I have eggs super late. It's not from me breeding them for the 2020 season. That's still 2019.
Got it. So, do you believe that like some breeders they kind of like promoting well not misinformation, but like you only have to well not only have to, but you can only breed your ball python like once a year, starting at fall.
I
What do you
mean,
think about that? Hmm?
so I think that's probably true as a general rule if for the average hobbyist. So the average person who does not have
Mm-hmm.
access to an ultrasound, who is just keeping a couple snakes and wants to produce some eggs, that's probably good advice to follow. I would start to pair them in October, follow that through into like
Mm-hmm.
May, and you
Mm-hmm.
should have success if pair them once a month, pair them once every 2 weeks if you really want to.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably good advice for someone like that. Now,
Like
if
really
you
new.
have if you have access to an ultrasound and you can measure the
Mm-hmm.
follicle growth, I have girls that build, I've got girls that start to build in July. So I know that if I'm breeding that girl, if I'm going to pair that female this season, I don't even have to worry
Mm-hmm.
about her till June or July, which is a nice
Right.
problem to have because I have time to get younger males up to size and get them in with her.
Right. But yeah, that's probably true too because like new people, it's always good to kind of like just stick with the basic, right? But like for me, even though if I don't have let's say the ultrasound, I can always gauge by the weight or like if the male, you can just like tell. I don't know, maybe because I've been doing this like for so long, so you can just like open it up and you kind of like tell like right away,
Yeah, yeah,
But
it's definitely gets to that point. Like as you gain more and more experience, you'll start to have little subtle clues that you're just, oh, she looks like she's building. She's big and round and feels really thick. That's a really good sign, and especially during breeding season.
yeah.
If your female's really aggressive on food, and then all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden stops and goes off of food, that's probably a
Mm-hmm.
good sign. If you see like the signs like bull wrapping, heat seeking, nesting, all of these things, they're
Yeah.
all signs that are leading towards the end goal. Now, whether that's some people may miss those. I think that could be very easy to miss though. The food aggression thing, that's pretty hard to
Mm-hmm.
miss. It's when you pair them up and then they decide they want to eat. It's like we have them
Right.
fly up. You open the bin and the head just flies out of the tub, looking for the rats in the
Yeah.
room.
Yeah, yeah. So let me ask you this then. So let's say if I was new, right? I'm just started this hobby. What advice would you give me? So let's say if I wanna so let's say if I call you Will, I wanna start breeding ball python. So what kind of advice would you give me?
Okay. So the first question I ask is, what do you like? Because that's
Uh-huh.
I mean, if you just want to produce, if you just want to breed snakes, get a pair of
Yeah.
pastel and a
Yeah.
leather, spend very little money, get proven breeders. Try your hand at it
Okay.
right now.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
really, it depends on what you're into. Are you looking to make
Okay.
something new that's never been done? Are you looking to make
Okay.
a specific
Yeah.
combo that you saw? Like,
Yeah.
you know,
This, yeah. This is
love
actually
that.
yeah. This is actually really good. So let's do this. So let's say if I'm new, and then I have a limited budget.
Okay, again,
So let's start from this one. So this is like phase one, right? So I'm new, I have limited budget, but I want to breed ball pythons.
it comes down to what do you
What do
like?
you think?
What do you like? What combo
Okay,
do you
so
want to make? Why do you want to
Yeah.
ball pythons? These are these questions that I always ask. I try to take a bit more of like a consultative approach to things when people are like, I
Yeah.
want to do this. Okay,
Yeah.
let's bring it back to the first step. Why do you want to do
Okay.
it? What about that do you like? These are other options. Here's my recommendation, and sort of
Mhm.
build them up for success instead of just here's two snakes, get out of here. You know?
Right. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. So let's say if I only have $1,000, but I want to make Batman.
A Batman.
Yeah.
$1,000 and you want to make a bat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably like too hard. Okay. So let's say $2,000. I'm
Definitely
gonna
not.
give you like much more room.
I would tell him to get a spot nose het clown female, and I would start to raise
Okay.
that up. I would get your rate. I would unless you want to buy them both at the same time and you just want to enjoy keeping them, totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I would get a spot het clown female or
Yeah.
a leopard het clown female, whichever you choose. And in a couple of
Okay.
years, I would start to look for a leopard or a spot nose het clown male. And that you should easily be able to find both of those animals for under $1,000, and you pair them together,
Yeah.
and 1 in 16 odds is a Batman.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if my approach would be, I would probably get like a regular female clown, and then
Yeah.
find a leopard spot nose male, just a regular, not a hat. It takes
Yeah.
time, but that's like within limited budget, right? And then the females can always produce for you. That a female clown. I mean, a female clown you can get like for like $500 right now. I think babies. It takes time, but
What's a spot nose het clown female worth?
right now, I think it's like
Yeah.
700 or something like that. I think.
What's a leopard het clown male worth?
It's pretty cheap. Probably like $500 too, probably.
If that, yeah.
Yeah.
And so
I mean, either way. So.
yeah, I mean, definitely doable. The clown, having the female clown as your starter, that's
Yeah.
I mean, can't go wrong.
You can use
with a
that female
clown.
for like forever.
But at the same time, a spot nose het clown, you can use that forever too.
Yeah.
Adding new
Either
things.
way. Yeah. Isn't it amazing? Like
Either way.
one idea you can go like different direction. You know what I mean? So technically there's no right and wrong.
Right.
So,
So
perfect.
for somebody,
Perfect. Yeah.
for someone who's wanting to make a Batman, one of the reasons that I say go with the spot nose het clown female and a leopard het clown male, or vice versa, is because if you go with the clown first, then you buy just a straight leopard spot nose. You've got to go through 2 generations to get to the Batman. You got to breed the leopard spot nose to the clown, and hopefully you make a leopard
Right.
spot nose clown male. Then you go back to
Right.
the clown. But for somebody who's just $1,000, this is going to be purely a hobby. I want to show them results quicker than 5 years, than 6 years. If you can show them results in 36 months, that's and that's if you're starting with fresh out of the egg babies. If you can find a sub-adult spot nose het clown or a 400 or 500 gram girl that's got 6 months on her, a good eater, start to grow her up, and the following season maybe, if she's a great eater, she's going, and you have a legitimate shot at making a Batman. And part of this is not necessarily just to, if that's what they really want to do is make a Batman, that's amazing, but
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
hatching
This is just
stuff is fun in general,
example. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's say if I have like more than that, let's say like $5,000, right? And then I come to you like, okay, Will, what's hot right now? And then how can I accomplish to that goal for $5,000.
So
Well, in Canadian, it might be like 6,000.
5,000 US in Canada. That's like
No,
6,500 bucks, something like that. Yeah.
yeah.
But either way,
Well, I'm 6'2". Yeah.
way.
Anyway, yeah.
Again, it would go back to what
Mm-hmm.
you want to make. What is it the year after if you've decided that
Mm-hmm.
you have $5,000 and you want to breed ball pythons, there's a reason behind
Mhm.
that. What and I try to
Right.
uncover what that reason is. What did you
Okay.
see? What combo did you see? I don't really think that there's a gene or a project that's necessarily
Mhm.
super hot. I think they're all
Yeah.
very good. I don't think that
Yeah.
my personal preference, I like the Desert
Mhm.
Ghost, so I do Desert Ghost double recessive. I just Desert Ghost everything. But
Mm.
that doesn't mean that somebody, and a combo that I would consider, and that, again, my personal preference, less desirable, would be something like
Yeah.
an albino genetic stripe, right? Not a combo that I'm
Yeah.
really interested in. But
Yeah.
just because I'm not interested in it doesn't mean there aren't a bunch of people out there that are. And
Very true.
really it comes down to what creative spin you can put on the project that
Mm-hmm.
impresses people. An albino Enchi genetic stripe might be stunning.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Find out. That's the whole.
Right.
That's the fun part.
Yeah.
If you just buy snakes and you buy I got $10,000 and I want to make money, and I'd be like, go do something else. You can.
Right.
You could make a profit. No doubt about it. But if you're just
Right.
it's strictly, I want to make money. It's.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it can be done, absolutely,
Mhm.
but probably you could make money other ways with $10,000 and quicker than ball pythons. But I understand that there's there's different tiers, and that's what I think
Yeah.
that's important. There's the full-time breeder that's
Mhm.
doing, and not necessarily. Some full-time guys are doing pet level animals, but just a billion of them.
Yeah.
Then there's the guys that are doing the really, really high end animals where they're selling $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 per animal.
Right.
Then there's guys that are sort of in that mid tier, but they're still working, where they're it's not their full time job. That's sort of where I am. We could do this full time. I just not sure if we really want to. I really enjoy going to the snake room, and I don't know if I want to make that. Probably will eventually.
Like a full-time
but I'm not
thing.
sure I want to make it my
Yeah.
job. Yeah.
Right.
And then there's the people that are just like sort of hobbyists, where if they could breed some snakes and have it pay for their food bill and to keep the animals, they're super happy. Maybe have a couple $1,000 left at the end of the year and they can acquire another animal, and it's just a fun thing for them. And then there's guys just sort of just very basic, just pet level stuff. And I'm noticing that some people are buying higher end animals as just pets.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, as dreamsicles start to come down, it's gonna be you're gonna see them in pet stores. People are gonna be like, "Oh my goodness, look at the."
Eventually, yeah.
And it will happen eventually. And so same with clown combos, same with hypo combos, same with every combo. Really, it's all trickle down.
Right.
We're always
So-
my position. I'm shooting for the next coolest thing, something that I really want to see, something that I think is going to look amazing, and push forward.
Right. Okay, so I'm going back to that original question. So let's say if I have like $5,000. Now the reason I'm asking you this is because it just amazes me sometimes. Like there's so many ways to accomplish that why you want to, go despite like how much money you have. Because the argument right now is like I don't have the money, and then I cannot do like what you're doing right now, or I cannot afford that project because I don't have this. I mean, that's true. Like having more, like fun to acquire animals, it's gonna take you like much faster. But it doesn't mean that you cannot go to that route. You know what I mean? It takes time, obviously. So either you have the time or you have the money. So you can have both. So yeah, because
If you have both,
like
you're
your
in a good situation.
it'll be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, no, because there's like so many ways. The reason that I asked that, like $1,000 and $5,000, because those are probably the most frequent question that I'm getting thus far. People like, hey, I wanna like start like like what you're doing right now, but I only have this amount of money, and then
Yeah.
another one will be like like that second tier will be like, okay, so I have saved a good money, and then what like what project is hot right now. So they're looking at not from the long term, just kind of like catching up all of this hype, right? And then I always said just like exactly what you just said, like trying to start the project based on what you like and based on what you want to see, because hype sometimes it's good now, it's hot now, but like 2 years after you hatch everything, it's probably gone, but by then,
Could be. Yeah.
so yeah. So let me ask you this then, because I had this conversation actually back that at Anaheim. So what is the best way to keep up with this whole cycle or trend, right? Because I feel like sometimes people keep trying to catch up others people tails, because they're trying to, well, for lack of a better word, to beat that person in a way. For what is the best way to structure a project in order to to be at least, I don't know, top 10 of the breeders right now? I had the same exact question. I want to see
So
your perspective.
so
Yeah, I know my answer,
I,
but yeah, huh?
you can't do everything. No
Of course,
breeder can do everything. There's
of course.
just way too much of it to do. Some guys can handle a lot. Some guys can handle less.
Yeah,
I think
right.
the best way to really like carve your piece out is
Mm-hmm.
to specialize in a couple of genes. So, for example, like a great example is Will Nussman. He's an
Mm.
outstanding guy. His collection is not immense. It's not a big collection. It's a moderate
Yeah,
sized collection, but his quality and quality control is superb. And he
right.
does blackheads, and he's known for blackheads and for clown pies, and that's sort of his
Yeah,
like his. And he's just doing this sort of, and he's developing those projects, and he's starting. Like if
yeah.
somebody says to me like, "Where should I get blackheads?" I'm like, "Go call Will." Where should I go to clown pies? It's either right now for me. It's either Justin or Will, and it's
Right.
and he's really carving a name for himself in that
Mm-hmm.
market.
Yeah.
And black is hot, and what he's doing with it is showing
Mm-hmm.
everybody how hot it is. And I think
Right.
that is the key for a. Now, if you want to go crazy and you want to go big, you can do it
Mm-hmm.
several of those.
Okay.
What I'm trying to do myself, I like to
Mm-hmm.
think Desert
Mm-hmm.
Ghost and Puzzle, it's the two that are sort of our wheelhouse. That's what we do. We do a lot of clown stuff
Your main
too, but
focus, you mean? Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be everyone's first call for clowns. I just know that.
Okay.
But I could be for, well, maybe not first, but definitely would be in the conversation, I would think. And I think that's, something that takes time. That's not a overnight thing. That's years
Yeah.
and years and years of work project and developing it and putting your spin on it, what you want to see,
Mm-hmm.
realizing how certain genes react with it, and what's going to be cool I noticed that GHI does this, and what if I put Cypress on top of there? Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
So that's sort of
Right.
how I think. If you're just playing pure trying to catch up, you're not going to. It's take a project and put your spin on it. There are a lot of genes out there that
Right.
no one's touching. Like you're a great example of that. You made combos where I'm like, I didn't even think of that, and it looks outstanding.
Right. Right.
And it's
Yeah.
it's a obscure combo that you wouldn't think of. Little subtle things
Right.
that make a big difference in combos.
Right. Yeah. My answer is 80% kind of similar to what you just said. Just focus on like one things, and then don't try to catch up, or I'm trying to because at the end of the day, this is not a race. I mean, this is not like
Right.
you're trying to beat up other breeders. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, the way I look at it, at least personally, I mean, I never look at like someone else like someone that I need to beat. That's probably like the number one mistake that like most people have right now. Because I
Yeah.
look at it, like you guys or like Justin, like Ozzy, it's kind of like my teammates in a way. So I'm playing sports right now, because I want to see, let's say, some combos that I want, like, produce right down the line. But so let's say if I don't have all the ingredients, so I need you guys to,
Right.
produce something so I can buy from you, so I can, accomplish what I want to, produce down the line. That's the way I look at it. But for some people that trying to make a name for themselves, what I said, like last weekend was, just focus on things that not many people have or, you know, um, focus on right now. So let's say like I don't know, red gene. There's like not many people working on it right now. You know,
Yeah.
and then what else? Like Rio, Arroyo. There's like
Yeah.
not many people working on it right now. So I mean, you can start from there. So
Very,
just
very
like you
little.
said, I mean, yeah.
There's genes on Morph Market that I look at that I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
that's interesting, and it's doing something. Like the
Right.
sapphire. I was looking
Ah.
at that the other day. I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
what is this? It's a pattern mutation, and no one's even talking
Right.
about it. And when I see
Yeah.
something like that, I'm
Yeah.
like, I should probably get a couple of these. Just grow up some
Mhm.
females and
Right.
and to play with it. There's every single year there are combos that people produce that are absolutely mind blowing, and
Yeah.
they're very simple combos. Like for
Yeah.
example, last year the Justin made that, and it goes back to Justin made it, but it's not always Justin that makes these combos. But just an example is
Okay.
the red striped cypress. I was
Yeah.
like, what the
Yeah.
heck? Because that
Yeah.
thing was nice, and
Yeah.
that is a very
Like fully striped and
painless-
everything. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a very,
Very simple
very
combo.
easy to make. 1 in 4 red striped cypress. Not that hard to make. You know,
Right. Yeah.
you start to put
Simple
combos-
things.
You could spend 5 years just playing with those two genes together, easily.
Very true. Agree.
want-
Yep.
Blackhead, red striped cypress, blackhead spot nose, red striped cypress leopard, red striped cypress. Like you could go forever.
Endless. Yeah.
Just those two genes as your base. You could
Yeah.
become known as the red
Mhm.
striped cypress guy easily.
Yeah. That's true. That's very very true.
You're not even putting a recessive on there. Put a recessive in there, that and
Mhm.
other people will start to be like, when you. I think the best way to put it is when
Uh-huh.
you're passionate about something and you really like
Mhm.
it. When you talk about it, it's
Mhm.
people catch that excitement and passion in your voice, and they realize you're excited about it. I'm going to be excited about it too, and that's sort of not. I'm not saying sell the project or that's how you market it, but because it's a real thing. You're being truthful. You're not just, yeah, this is a great project. Buy it, buy it, buy it. It's like, no, I really like this. This is why I'm
Yeah.
making it. Because they look amazing. They look so cool. I don't think I'll ever get tired of hatching Desert Ghost stuff. I love Desert Ghost stuff. I love
Yeah.
the fact that when they hatch, look ho-hum. They don't look that great as babies. I love growing them up. Like, it's just rewarding. That every single time I open the bin, they look better and better and better and better. All the
Yeah.
way to adulthood. And
Yeah.
then once
Yeah.
it's like, okay, what are their babies going to look like? Even crazier. And that's just rewarding. So I'm excited about Desert Ghost. And when I talk to people about it, generally, they get excited about it too. And then they're, well, what do you have? I'm like, nothing.
Right.
Keep it all.
Yeah, I just feel sometimes, like talking to these like like new breeders. Well, they're not really breeders, but they claim themselves like like breeders. This some 25 years experience nonsense, whatever. But anyway, I just feel like they don't have that like that patience that we have. Like the way they talk, it just kind of like like money oriented kind of thing.
Yeah.
and then they just feel like they want to make the name for themselves without, I don't want to say caring for the animals. It's just like it's not really their focus. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like they just want to be famous because they think they have like everything, and then even though they do not know what they're doing with like whatever they just get, right. And then other than that, I just don't feel, huh?
They
Go
see
ahead.
the dollar signs attached to the animals, and
Yeah.
that those
Yeah.
those people don't last very long, because
Yeah, they don't.
before the dollar signs is disappointment and failure and you know, eggs going bad, and there's so many obstacles to get
Yeah.
to that dollar sign. And I
Yeah.
think some people position this business as almost like a get rich quick scheme. It's
Yes.
absolutely not.
Yes.
It takes time,
Yes.
it takes effort. You're gonna have so many roadblocks in the way.
Yeah.
Clutches going bad, animals get sick. They're living
Oh
animals.
my god.
Like,
Yeah.
they're not just, money in stocks. That doesn't. I mean, that doesn't. It's not a living thing that you have to worry about. This is a totally different thing. There's weekly maintenance, daily maintenance, clean water bowls, clean. There are so much things that get in the way of this get rich quick thing. It takes time.
Yeah.
People
Very true.
realize how hard it is to hit odds. There are, like, when you start to get into these, like, oh, I want a orange dream, yellow belly, desert ghost clown. Ha! Me too. Like,
Everybody wants the same thing.
and people want that, but they sort of give you a bit of attitude when you're like, well, that's going to be X amount of dollars, and they're like, what? Why is it so expensive? Well, number one, it's in demand, and two, it took me X amount of years to even get to the point to be able to make it. So not only are you paying for a extremely rare and in demand animal, you're paying for my time and my experience, and just with those animals, it's one of a kind. There's two made a season. Like, they're not they're not like, oh, I want an orange dream clown. Okay, you can go get an orange dream clown relatively easily right now. But you want an orange dream desert ghost clown? I don't even know who to call.
Good luck. Ozzy.
Yeah, Ozzy's probably the guy, Ozzy or Justin. And if they have it, I want it. Like, I'm okay paying that kind of money for that, because I understand what goes into making it.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about cryptic now. What's your thought about cryptic? I want to hear it from you.
In what way?
Oh boy.
I don't know. So
Okay, so let's just do this then. What's your thought? What's your opinion about, based on what you been working on so far? Let's just start from there.
So I have only ever hatched cryptics when desert ghost and clown is present. I've never hatched them just het clown, and I've never hatched them just het desert ghost. I've only hatched them double het. And so, and I know a lot of guys are saying it's a codom or a incomplete dominant or a dominant.
Yeah.
For me, I can't speak for everybody else, but I can just tell you how I'm making mine. And mine have come from a clown combo bred to a desert ghost, and neither of those animals showed any sign of cryptic. If the desert ghost female has given me 3 or 4 clutches, none of her babies have been cryptic. The clown, that clown male, gave me 20-something clutches over 3 years, and none of the babies, except when bred to that desert ghost, showed any signs of cryptic.
Where did you get your desert ghost from? Isabel line?
Mark and Kim Bell.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it seems like most of them cryptic seems to came from their DG line, right? and then
Yep.
there's like the whole this cryptic chaos kind of thing started. So
Yeah.
based on what you been working on so far, so cryptic is a recessive.
For me, seems to be.
Okay, yeah, I do agree. That's what I thought too. But there's like so many people been saying like it's incomplete dominant. But I just don't know. I mean, they have their own argument, which is kind of like true and wrong. I mean, there's no like like right or wrong, but I just don't see it as incomplete dominant though.
So
It
the
could be
only,
something else though. Uh huh.
I think it's got to be linked to something. I don't think you're
Okay.
going to make. I think every cryptic, and people are going to crucify me for this, but I think every cryptic is like het clown or het
Uh-huh.
desert ghost or something or het something, because
Uh-huh.
I have, and people are making these assumptions and saying it is this, it is that, it is this,
Yeah.
when they've had one
Yeah.
clutch and they hatch cryptic and they're like, oh, it's dominant.
Thank you.
Well,
That's my
You-
point too. Yeah.
raised them, you haven't bred them, you haven't really put. It's going to take 3 or 4 years to really figure out what it is.
At least. At least. Yeah.
Before I say it's recessive or dominant or co-dominant, I'm raising the girls.
Mhm.
The girls are 2 years old now, so they're about 1,100 grams. And
Okay.
next year, I'll be pairing cryptics. So
Okay.
again, I don't know. I don't know how it works. I have an
Mhm.
orange dream. I bred a pastel desert ghost het
Mhm.
clown to an orange
Okay.
dream desert ghost. Okay, I had
Okay.
a couple orange dream desert ghosts in the clutch, and
Mhm.
one of
Mhm.
is orange dream desert ghost cryptic. That's
Okay.
a male. I would bet, not my life, but I would bet that
Yeah. Don't. Please don't.
will prove to be het clown because he's cryptic. Because for me, the only time I've ever
Mhm.
produced cryptics again is double het DG clowns. So this is an
Yeah.
orange dream desert ghost cryptic, 50% het clown, but because he's cryptic, is he het clown? I don't know. I'm gonna find out, but I bet you he proves het
Interesting.
clown. And I'm wondering if
Interesting.
you can use cryptic as almost like an
Mhm.
identifier for het clown. Now, I know some people have said it can't be. I bred my cryptic to a clown and I got no clowns. It's like, well, I've had pretty shitty odds before too. You're
Okay.
talking about one clutch. Let's do this 10
Right.
times and then we'll make a decision. As an
Got it,
industry,
yeah.
as an individual, like people ask me like, how does cryptic work? And I'm like, well, okay, let's have a conference call with 10 different breeders who are all working on the same thing and all have different opinions, because I
Right.
don't really know. We need to have sort of like a round table discussion about this happened for you, this happened for me, this is how I saw it, this is how you saw it, and move forward from there, because I think it's a gene that we've never really, it doesn't react like anything else we've seen before. So it doesn't just pop, like you don't just breed cryptic normal, get cryptics. I don't think. You might, I don't
Okay.
know. And I don't think you just, the one reason that I wonder about it being recessive, or if maybe it's two separate genes that look very similar, I don't know, but
Okay.
how does a recessive, if it's recessive,
Mhm.
how does a recessive pop up 50 times this year in 50 different collections? Everybody bred the right hets together. Very
Yeah.
like, the odds of that happening are very long. But at the same time,
Makes sense.
how does a incomplete dominant
Mhm.
just pop up when you're not seeing it in either parent?
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
again, I don't have the answers. I wish. I'm kind of hoping somebody else figures it out, so I don't have to spend 5 years trying
Right.
to figure it out. But
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
really have the answers. I know that for us, we've hatched probably 12 or maybe 12 or 15 cryptic animals, and every one has been either double het desert ghost clown, true double hets, 100 and 100, or visual desert ghost that has a clown, a possibility of being het clown. Visual DG 50% het clown, and I plan on proving that at this guy
Interesting.
that was this year. So hopefully we see. I mean, at this point, I don't even care about the cryptic part. I just want to make an Orange Dream DG clown. Like, I just hope it's a clown, you know? I don't even cryptic secondary, to be honest.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, best what I know. I mean, I've talked with like so many people like this year alone, and then most people that really I'm not talking about those people that hanging out at forums. Okay, so I'm talking about people that actually doing it. They have the
Right.
clutch. They actually proving it. So yeah, so those people that like to argue, I don't really care about them. So based on their perspective, it's actually a recessive. That's based on what they know. Because let's say if you breed it to like hidden gene worm or whatever like that, right? You don't get like cryptic and hidden gene worm like right away. So
Right.
technically it's a recessive. I mean, you can see the the hidden gene worm with, let's say, hat so-called cryptic. And then another opinions also that it could be related to that DG that they actually got originally from Bell, and then the head somehow express this so-called, just like you said, like the one that cryptic always gonna be like head clan, right? So the one
Right.
that they call it cryptic or whatever like that is always gonna be head for desert ghost for some reason. So that's why sometimes when people selling it as like incomplete dominant or things like that. I mean, I get it because you can technically see it according to them. So but based on my understanding after like talking with like so many people, I think it's a recessive. I'm talking about just the true cryptic like animal gene that people actually know right now. So I'm not talking about like random whatever gene that popping up based on like whatever they bred together or things like that. It's a recessive.
Personally
You know?
think it's either linked to clown or desert ghost. And I
Mhm.
think I've hatched another
Mhm.
one this season.
Okay.
I believe I hatched another one.
Mhm.
The way I hatched it was I
Mhm.
did so I bred a puzzle to a desert ghost female that I got from the Bells in like 2009.
Yeah.
I bred a puzzle to a desert ghost, and I made I think it was a super pastel puzzle to a pastel desert ghost.
Okay.
And I made the double hets 4-ish years ago, and we
Mm.
raised all those up. And then this year we
Mhm.
bred the double hets back together, and I hit a puzzle in the clutch, a pastel puzzle in the clutch that looks
Okay.
absolutely nothing like any pastel puzzle we've ever hatched. And I've probably hatched
Okay.
20 or so of visual pastel puzzles. And it is
Okay.
so incredibly busy that it could just be a really funky puzzle, possibly. But
Mhm.
my suspicion is that it is a pastel cryptic puzzle, which means it's going to be Het Desert Ghost.
Okay.
That's
I talk.
my feeling, but I don't know.
Okay. Are you talking about your chaos project or no?
Chaos is a totally different thing. That's an
Okay.
totally that's not in the that's also came out of puzzle. It's man, so much
Hmm?
yeah. The cryptic stuff is not coming from puzzle though. That's for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely not. It's coming out of the desert.
Okay.
For me,
Okay.
what I believe is that it's coming out of the desert ghost. But then people are
Okay.
saying that they're hatching them from clowns. So
Yeah.
I have no,
Yeah. Just a random thought, right? Do you think it is possible if it is, the double hat express like itself? I'm talking
Yeah.
about just like, Candino. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Do you
yeah,
think that's possible?
absolutely it's possible.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, so if that's the case, if it's like that,
Yeah.
if
I mean, you know what I mean, right?
If you breed a toffee to an albino, they're not
Okay.
technically double hets. They're like because they act like a.
Oh, okay.
They
I see
act
what
like
you're talking about.
right?
Huh. Interesting.
An albino bred to a toffee gives you all toffinos,
Yeah.
but does a
Makes sense, right?
It doesn't.
Yeah.
When I clown to DG, I don't get all cryptics. I got some cryptics and some not, unless they're
Uh-huh.
low cryptics or
Oh, okay.
all
Interesting, right?
All great questions. I have no idea. I just know I keep hatching them, and I just keep putting them in my rack. Someone's gonna figure it out, and then I'll know what to do from.
Yeah, this is one of the thing that I love about this hobby. Like, figure things out.
Yeah.
Like all of these questions. So that's why like we hanging out, because people. So, sometimes things that, we just talking smack about other breeders. No, we don't do that. We just hanging out and then talk about this kind of things, just like geeking out about nonsense, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. It's it's funny.
It's crazy, man.
There's lots of stuff that I just don't
interesting.
understand. And some guys who have been doing this less time than I have a better understanding of how the genetics side of things work. Like guys that are really into the genetic side of things. I'm not really into that. I definitely understand how the genetics work. Like, I understand how to make the odds at play and how to mix stuff up. But I don't necessarily know how the genome mutates and how it
me neither.
How genetics work. I'm not that guy. And some guys are really geek out over that. Other guys really geek out over comboing stuff. Some guys really geek out over line breeding stuff. There's so many different avenues. You could honestly probably, going back to making a name for yourself, you could probably make a name for yourself just breeding Enchies. That's the only thing that you work with. No pastel, no fire, just Enchi, and you just continuously line breed it, and you always breed the best Enchies, and eventually, I bet you start to make Enchies that look like super Enchies, and super Enchies that look, and they're so the hobby's infinite.
Yeah, there's so many avenues. Yeah,
only 30, and I'm gonna be dead before we see lots of these combos.
Right, we're 75 years old, no teeth and one leg, talking about ball python.
Seriously, yeah. I think you could just be the Enchi guy. They have Enchies. Ozzy, he does a bunch of other stuff, but his high intensity orange dream, from my understanding, is just a line breed orange dream. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
It's a single orange dream.
I feel the same way too.
Got better and better and better and better over time.
Yeah.
Because he was always
the same way too.
Best examples.
Yeah. I still remember when I tried to, make the shortcut, not buying the OD, from him. This is years and years back. I never produced anything close to his combo. So I was what, screw this. So that's why I learned my lesson too. So I never gonna trying to get the cheap animal, trying to shortcut anything. So do it right, because you're gonna waste a lot of time down the line. So you want to talk about your chaos project?
Sure.
Or you want to keep it really down low?
I did the video. It's out there. I know. So the chaos. So basically, what happened was
tell me.
Back in 2009, I believe, I got a 2009 or a 2010. I'd have to check the records, but they're very early on. I got a pair of het puzzles. The het puzzle male was 2008. I know that for sure. And the female, I believe, is an 09 or maybe a 8. Might be a 10. I might have got them in 10. Either way, very early on in that project, I brought them up, and I raised them up. And the first year, I bred them together, and I made 1.1 puzzles. And I was super happy. That same year, I bred the male het puzzle to a super vanilla, super pastel. And I had
the original male, right?
The original het puzzle male, yeah. And I had really shitty odds in the clutch. I got 3 eggs, 3 slugs, and I got 3 males. 3 vanilla pastel possible het puzzle males. I kept the one that had, just to me, looked a little bright. It didn't have a funky pattern. It didn't look crazy. Maybe it was just a better quality.
It's just different.
It was just the one that I liked, and it was a bit brighter, and I hoped that it would prove out, because at the time, there was no, way back then, there was no, oh, this is an identifier for this, and this is an identifier for that. There wasn't none of that. It was just it's brighter, keep it, see what happens.
Right.
So I kept that one male, and it sat on the
Okay.
shelf because I had that same year I made a visual puzzle male, and so
Okay.
I bred that puzzle male. I made all my base stock with that puzzle male, and those puzzles look totally normal. And this in 2016, I decided I'm going to try and prove out this vanilla pastel. So I bred it
Okay.
to that original het puzzle female, totally by fluke. I could have picked any other het puzzle female in the collection, but I went back to that original female just because she was big, and I wanted a big clutch to try and prove out a het-to-het pairing.
Right.
And anyways, I bred that clutch, and I got no puzzles in the clutch, but I got two animals were totally messed up. Like,
Okay.
people told me, oh, that's just a het puzzle. And I'm like, guys, like, I have hatched a lot of het puzzles at this point, and these are not
Right.
het puzzles. They're crazy looking. And they're on my Instagram. There's a YouTube video that I did showing those original animals,
Okay.
and then what's happened after that. So I raised those girls up. It was a 1.1. I raised them up. The female I'm hoping to breed this year. The male is I bred last year and again this year. So last year I took the male, what I call, and in my collection I was calling it Chaos, because the look is just chaos.
All the
There's
patterns.
no rhyme or reason to the pattern. It's just blown apart. And so I called it a pastel vanilla chaos.
Okay.
This season, I bred him back to that original het again.
Okay.
This season, 2019.
Okay.
I bred him back to that original het puzzle, his mother. And lo and behold, I produced a puzzle. He proved to be het puzzle because he was a pos het puzzle from the pairing. And I produced a vanilla pastel puzzle, which looks exactly how you'd expect it to look. Very bright yellow puzzle. And then I produced another one that looks just like the ones I did 2 years ago. Crazy pattern. And then I hit the same thing, but minus the vanilla pastel. So I hit a pastel chaos and a vanilla pastel.
Okay.
So I hit those again this year. But I knew that based on the original pairing, I wasn't totally sure that would prove it to be recessive or codom or whatever it is. So I bred that original chaos male again to a completely unrelated pastel female. Totally unrelated. And she gave me 13 eggs and not a single visual. So I don't know if I missed odds and it's really a codom, but so far it definitely looks like a recessive. The original mum and the original vanilla pastel posset puzzle that made those original chaos show no sign of being nothing. I can't see it.
Okay. So as
there's
for now,
there's a video interested on my channel. Royal Camp does the new recessive, and I show it all, and I show the original parents. I show the whole progression of what we've done, and this year I'm breeding visual chaos to visual chaos, and visual
and
chaos.
see what you're gonna get.
Back to some possible hets to see if I can prove them out. And I'm, again, no idea how it works. Pretty sure it's going to prove recessive. And if it's not recessive, it's I think it may be the super form, but the codom, the incomplete dom form is very, very subtle, and I'm not seeing it. So at the end of the day, it's the same thing as a recessive, basically. You know?
Yeah.
Pastel is a het super pastel. You know?
Yeah. In a way,
the heterozygous form and the super pastel is the homozygous form. So So and it's like it's really funky. It's really just. I opened the egg when we cut the clutch. I looked and I was like, "What the heck?" Like,
how is that thing? Yeah.
As soon as it hatched, I was like, "We hit another one," and then I hit the pastel version. And if you've seen a pastel before, you know it's not a pastel. I wonder if I can show it through here, just for people that are watching this.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
I'll just pull it up on my phone and hold it to the
camera.
This.
Your phone.
Oh, where's that?
Oh, okay. Right.
Is a vanilla style chaos.
So that one is okay. Vanilla
That's
cream chaos.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the
Got
visual
it. Yeah.
form with vanilla pastel
Okay.
in it. And
Okay.
let me see if I can't find the pastel version. Okay, so everyone has seen a pastel, correct?
Yeah.
That is not a pastel.
Right.
That's a pastel chaos. So that I believe is
Right.
the visual, whatever it is, whether it's a super or a recessive. That's the visual pastel version. And
Yeah.
again, there's more breeding trials, just like cryptic, to figure out really how it works. But
A
it's
lot
very
of work.
exciting. This year, my gut feeling says it's recessive. So
Okay.
or it's a super form, and that's what you're after anyway. So this year
Yeah.
I'm putting it into a bunch of different genes. I bred it into spot
Yeah.
nose. I bred it into leopard. We put it into fire. We put it into yellow belly. We put it into a bunch of different things, and
Right.
make my hets and raise them up. And time I figure it out, maybe it was a waste of time. Certainly doesn't look
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah. I like the way it looks. It reminds me of spot nose jungle woma combos.
Similar, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Really, really nice. Really, really nice. Yeah.
Was the pattern to, and that's why we picked the name Chaos, because it just it's chaotic. We had there was nothing to call
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And
There's
Ian,
actually, yeah.
gave me a little shit because they had produced a combo called that they had named the Chaos.
Yeah.
It was a
Screw that.
twister and a
Yeah.
B, but
Yeah. Yeah. Just
they
skip
said
it.
they named it in 12, and I had never heard of it before in my life. And then as soon as I said, "Here's
Yeah.
the Chaos," they're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
it's mine." And I was
Yeah.
like, "All right, I might change the name to like a Havoc," or people name
Happy.
everything now, though. So they hatch a weird looking
Oh
logo.
my god.
Gene, this is called this.
Yep.
Eventually, I'm just gonna. I love the name Gene X. We're gonna have a whole Gene A, Gene B, Gene C.
Gene Q.
Yeah. And then we're gonna have to like, sub.
Yeah.
Sub Gene 1A, Gene
Yeah.
2A. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What is next for you? The next, let's say, 3 to 5 years from now. What is your goal? What do you want to accomplish? I'm talking about like hobby-wise.
Like
What do you want? Yeah.
combo-wise, or
No, no. Like RCR. So let's say if we actually, talking back to you again, like 5 years from now, right? That's might be too long. 3 years from now. What do you want to take RCR the next 3 years? If that makes sense to you.
definitely global.
Okay.
I think we're fairly we have a fairly decent market presence within Canada and the U.S.
Okay.
I don't do a ton of business into Europe. I do some, but not a ton. It's definitely changing. It's
Okay.
picking up.
Yeah.
I guess really for us is not so much the money is not. I mean, it's great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say I don't like money. Everyone likes money.
Okay.
But it's more
Yeah.
like the notoriety, the sort of like the breeder respect, if that makes sense. Where I'd like RCR to become like a household name, where when someone says name some breeders in this day, they're like Justin, Aussie, right away, bang bang. I'd like RCR to be in that conversation. I'm not saying we're going to
Got
be
it.
the Justin or the Aussie or definitely not, but that's something I would be in that conversation. Even just to be in that conversation would be incredibly humbling.
Right.
When I
Yeah.
hatch something and Aussie texts me and he's like, "Bro, that's awesome." I'm like, "Whoa!" I'm still like, "Sick." Aussie thinks this is cool.
Yeah.
It's because when I got
I
in,
hear
I
you.
was really just firing up the Orange Dream. He had just, I think he found it in 2005, but nobody gave it the time
Right.
of day. And then it started to really, people started to notice it. Sort of right as I was getting in was sort of that incline of the Orange Dream back, it's 2008, 9, 10. And
Yeah.
so I always looked up to Ozzy. I remember watching Justin's videos when he made the yellow belly kid, and he used to wear the glasses and I'm just
In a
and he had
small
the little
room.
rock- and he had the little rock intro, the little signature his videos. I remember watching those.
Yeah.
Ralph
I remember that.
Davis,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember all that, and it seems like, you know, people are now saying, like, calling me, being like, I really look up to you, and I'm like, what? Why? Look up to these guys. But like, it's cool, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Well, most people, you know, when we talk about Canada, you know, well, at least me personally, I always like think of you, like, you know, like if they, let's say in Canada, and then they want something, or just like, well, call Will, or this is his number, or something like that. I always, you know, say either you or Billy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mutation creation. That's it. Well, Mark Jane. Well, Mark Jane. Mark Mandic. But you know, sometimes it's really hard to reach out to him. You know, because he's not really, you know, like have this social media,
right,
you know, set up. So it's easier to reach out to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. I like that's cool to hear that. And I'd like that to, you know, just grow. I guess that would really be our goal over the next 3 or 4 years. And I mean, that comes with the animals that you're going to make, right? As you start to make more and more cutting edge and more like never seen before but significant, that's where that starts to come. You know, lots of guys, I always see guys like, oh, world's first. Like guys like, there's a world's first basically every clutch that I'm hatching. But I don't care about world's first.
Right.
That term, I hate that term. I like having like the best quality example that I can produce.
Yeah. I was talking to Gavin the other day, balls to you. He actually said something really, really great. He said like not world first, but world best.
World best,
said. That's a really good one. Yeah.
You know, and I want to take. So basically, what Justin really did with the clown, I want to do with the puzzle. You know, I know. I don't think
makes sense.
I don't think that the puzzle will ever have the market presence that clown does, and then that's what a lot of people.
Okay.
It's funny because some people will call me and they're like, "Oh, clown's better." I'm like, "Okay, what's better, chocolate or ice cream? Like, which one do you want?" I like both of them. You know, like it's different. It's not better or worse. The
makes sense.
Term, oh, this is better is so subjective. It's a better one.
Yeah.
It's a better grower. It's a better eater. I'll tell you, puppies are good eaters. You know, it's subjective. What do you like? I think
that's true.
People will judge a gene based on how it performs in clown.
Yeah.
People are like, okay, this gene's no good because the clown combo is no good. But you could have an absolutely breathtaking combo in genetic stripe with that specific gene. It may be the gene that unlocks the G stripe to do something crazy. But because it's not in clown and it's not what we consider good in clown, people are like hesitant towards. So I let everybody sleep. That's sort of where I fly under the radar while everyone's sleeping on this stuff. I'm realizing this gene's doing this with this, and this is with does it with this, and I want to put them together and see what happens. You know,
so your focus right now. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I look at combos in clown and go, wow, that's a really, really incredible combo. What will that do in puzzle? So clown, as a general rule, pulls color out of the snake. A pastel clown, as it grows, even at 300 grams, is really kind of blah. They hatch out spectacular, and then right after their first shed, they kind of fall flat. And then the clowns get progressively worse. Not all of them. You put like OD, Fire, Yellow Belly together, and they get progressively better. You put Desert Ghost in clown, and it just goes crazy good. But I'm noticing that puzzles get progressively better from babies. They start off looking kind of so-so, and not to the same level Desert Ghost does, but puzzles get gradually better and
improve.
Super pastel puzzle definitely outshines a 1,000-gram killer clown. But that's not saying that one's better than the other. They also look totally different. I've noticed that Fire in puzzle doesn't seem to give you the same reaction that it does in clown. It doesn't give you that like blushed out crazy head. It doesn't. Fire clowns are spectacular looking animals,
Right.
but the fire puzzle is a brighter looking puzzle. But that doesn't mean that. So what's a gene in clown that doesn't do all that much? Mojave.
Yeah.
Mojave. It makes a cool looking clown, but it's not like wow. But in puzzle, holy smoke!
Yeah.
It
It's insane.
changes the game. You know,
I've seen it.
there's
Yeah.
genes that are going to work with one that don't work with another, and it's our job as a breeder to figure those out.
Right. Makes sense. So you only focus on, as for now, your main focus is for the puzzle project. Yeah.
I wouldn't say that's my main
No?
focus
Oh.
as a
DG?
collection is Desert Ghost.
Oh, okay.
Desert Ghost
Okay, got it.
double recessives specifically.
Okay,
We're doing like DG Puzzle, DG Clown, DG Pied, DG G Stripe, Desert Ghost Axanthic, Desert Ghost Lavender, Desert Ghost everything.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
Puzzle falls into that mix. And I find that if you can pick a gene, especially if you're going to play the double recessive game,
Yeah.
baselining, having a common theme across the board really, really helps. Because what ends up happening is if you have a common gene across the board, if you look at Justin, for example, okay? Justin's probably his common theme is either going to be pied or clown,
Yeah.
right? See, like that's really the two things that now he makes everything that he makes is incredible. But
Right.
when he does a clown pied and he has a dreamsicle, it's a natural progression to put those two together, right? Because now you
I
have
get it.
pied double
Yeah.
het. You're drastically lowering the odds, and it becomes much easier to inject the new codoms into a triple. Whereas if you're on one side, you're working on hypo, genetic stripe, axanthics, and then over here you're working on desert ghost, clown pied.
Yeah.
It's like
I hear you.
It don't mesh, right? Well, I mean,
I get it.
those are 6 gene hets, but those odds are insane.
Yeah.
So-
Well, here's a basic, as far as the collection or like his structure, it's just based on clown pied and then lavender. That's it.
Yeah.
A-
But
and
if
then
you
he
look at-
built it from there.
And if you look, it's he'll do the Grail, and then he'll do a genetic stripe clown. Now it's a natural progression to put them together, and now you're having clown, double het, lavender G stripes. Now when you take
Right.
those combos and you go, that's how your collection starts.
Progressive.
You have this exponential growth. Where I think I don't know. Justin would be able to talk on this a lot better. Justin or Ozzy or guys like that would be able to talk on that much more than I can because that's how I see it and that's how I'm building our collection. But again, it's I think there's 20 different correct ways to do it. I don't think there is one way to do it. But for us, I want the central gene that I want to have in everything is Desert Ghost, and so across the board. If I have a Desert Ghost puzzle and I have a Desert Ghost clown,
It's
put them
easier
together,
for you to
I have a
imagine.
Desert
Yeah.
Ghost double het puzzle clown. And in the meantime, I'm working on double het puzzle clowns, and I take a DG double het puzzle clown that goes into you instantly breed that male back to a Orange Dream Fire Spot Nose double het puzzle clown. And if you hit the odds, now you're talking about like OD Fire puzzle clown, 100% het DG. You're drastically shrinking your odds.
Yeah. We already hit like 1 hour mark, so I don't wanna take much of your time. So
No problem.
thank you so much for doing this, man. Maybe we should do like a part 2 or something like that.
Yeah, man. Whenever you want. We'll do we'll do a part 2 when I'm at the facility, and I'll just pull it open and show you some stuff.
Yeah. Keep me posted on your chaos project. I would like to hear it
Well,
more. So
I should. They're pairing up now, so we'll start to hatch them throughout this summer.
okay, awesome. Anything else you wanna talk about before we end this? Just keep doing it.
I want to see the stuff that you're doing. I want to see some of that, like that Yakuza stuff.
Oh yeah, good stuff. Yeah.
That subtle stuff. I like it.
All right, Will. So talk to you later. Thank you so much, man.
All right, buddy. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, take care. All right, bye.
Cheers.